My sister used my ID photo to catfish people online. She originally wanted to hook a cute girl, but unexpectedly caught a huge fish instead. She actually hooked that law major with a terrifyingly deep background, the cold and stunning Xie Qingyuan. When Xie Qingyuan saw my photo, she felt her intelligence was insulted. Overnight, she posted a campus-wide anti-fraud wanted notice on the confession wall. It was absolutely ruthless. Campus-wide anti-fraud wanted notice. This person uses AI-generated photos for malicious fraud. A man who looks like this simply cannot exist in real life. It's purely photoshopped. Heavy reward for anyone providing clues. Miss Xi, don't be rash. What if it's not photoshopped? What if it's her actual brother? Xie Qingyuan replied with absolute certainty. Impossible. You can't find a face like this on a real campus. A sister's debt is paid by the brother. Bring the signed agreement to the gym tomorrow and find me. Otherwise, pack your bags and get out. Until the basketball game the next day, when she saw me, the one who perfectly matched, that impossibly perfect, godlike face. Xie Qingyuan pulled out her phone and edited the post. Urgent. My sister-in-law seems so scared of me, she wants to drop out. How should I sign this agreement to make him stay? Waiting online, it's pretty urgent. Tang Yu and I are boy-girl twins, but our intelligence was distributed extremely unevenly. It's as if, back in the womb, I snatched her brain for myself. While I was winning math Olympiad gold medals and doing academic research, she was playing with dolls. When I got early admission to a top university, she was still getting scolded by teachers for mixing up pinyin and English. Somehow, this idiot got dumb luck and got into the same university as me through an art scholarship. Ha ha ha, just a few days into the semester, this total blockhead came to me, looking thrilled, saying she met a top-tier, gorgeous big shot, and hoped to use this to sneak into the high society circle. I told her that people with deep backgrounds are not to be messed with, but she just wouldn't listen. Humph. As long as they're pretty enough, it's fine. During that time, she reported her progress to me every day. Bro, she added me. She accepted my friend request. She sounds so professional. She even talks to me about law. Is this the charm of a big shot? Until one day, she came to me in a panic. Bro, save me. She asked to meet up in person tomorrow. I'm freaking out. Bro, can you please help me? When I got this message, I was getting a massive headache from my advisor rushing my thesis. Is the thesis not done yet? How much longer are you going to make me wait? Without even thinking, I just casually agreed to help her. I stayed up past midnight, sent the thesis to my advisor, and finally let out a long sigh of relief. Wait a minute. What exactly did I just agree to help her with? My roommate forwarded me a trending post from the school forum. The title was absolutely explosive. My hand slipped, and I clicked on it. The poster's ID looked like someone you shouldn't mess with. The lines were practically dripping with gunpowder. To the sick pervert using AI-generated photos to scam people, can you just get the hell out of this school? The peanut gallery in the comments was loving the drama. Miss Xi is a law major. She hates liars the most. This guy walked right into the line of fire. Xie Qingyuan replied very quickly. You could feel her rage right through the screen. I study law. I despise fraud and forgery. I knew this blockhead would crash and burn sooner or later. Using a fake photo to scam Miss Xi. Does she have a death wish? Make him drop out. Xie Qingyuan, you observed for so long, and only just realized it's a fake photo. This girl is usually so timid. I can't believe she actually pulled something like this. I found out his dorm room number and marched straight over. I just cornered him at the end of the dorm hallway. He cried and begged for mercy, saying the profile pic is his actual brother. He said his brother really looks like that. Hilarious. Does he think I'm that easy to fool? Someone that handsome in a photo can't possibly be real. The late-night dorm hallway was dimly lit. I stared at my phone screen. The more I looked at that fake photo, the more familiar it seemed. Fuck, isn't this the exact same ID photo I took last week? Just because I looked too handsome in it. People kept saying it was AI generated. Tang Yu was currently curled up in her dorm chair, wiping her tears while staring at her phone, frantically typing out apologies. Right after, Xie Qingyuan posted another update. This guy gets scared too easily. Started crying before I even did anything. Kept screaming that it's his brother, and even said his brother will come to the gym tomorrow at 10 a.m. to sign a debt repayment agreement. So he wants to talk about subrogation with me. Fine. He claims his brother is the absolute ceiling of good looks. I'll be waiting right there tomorrow. Let's see how I expose this Photoshop fraud. I'm doomed. The expression on my face instantly froze. My head started spinning. Looks like this battle tomorrow at 10 a.m. I have no choice but to go. I stubbornly stared at the post, trying to find some evidence to prove she didn't do this. But in the end, I could only dejectedly admit, sigh, this idiot using my photo to scam people everywhere really is my own biological sister, Tang Yu. Oh Tang Yu, you really do have a death wish. The wind in the forum had completely shifted. This rich girl talks real tough. Looks like she's genuinely pissed. Someone half-jokingly commented to educate the newcomers. Xie Qingyuan is the infamous demoness of the law department. Her family background is terrifyingly deep. Everyone has to show her some respect. That scammer is dead meat. He kicked the hardest steel plate in the whole school. Reading these comments, my heart went completely cold. According to the tropes in all the novels I've read, this kind of rich, powerful, and short-tempered person is the absolute worst to mess with. I was so mad I wanted to drag Tang Yu out and beat her up. Feeling anxious, I dug out the contact info Tang Yu had given me and added that person named Xie Qingyuan. Before I could even figure out how to start, the friend request was accepted. Hey, Xie, I'm Tang Yu's brother. About the photo, it's actually a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? You used that impossibly handsome fake face to scam me for a whole half month, and now you're telling me it's a misunderstanding? That photo is real. It's literally my actual ID photo. No filters, and definitely no Photoshop. If a face like that is real, I'll eat both baskets of basketballs on the court right then and there. Stop trying to fool me with this nonsense. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., bring that debt repayment agreement your sister mentioned. Be at the gym, or else, if I don't see the real person, I'll expose this whole thing and get him expelled. Tang Yu. Oh, Tang Yu. You're truly hopeless. Maybe I should just let her delete her account and start over in life. This kind of trouble is really not suitable for a law-abiding citizen like me, who just wants to quietly do academic research. Whatever. Time to sleep. Right before bed, my hand slipped and I checked the post again. The vibe had already started going off the rails. OP, what if the brother really is devastatingly handsome? Can good looks feed you? Miss Shi values credibility the most. If she says she's gonna wreck him tomorrow, she's gonna wreck him tomorrow. NGL. I kinda wanna see how ugly that godlike face actually is in real life. TLS live stream it. Impossible. Absolutely no one in this world looks like that. This guy is just a scammer. This is the first time in my life I've been played for a fool. I have to get my payback tomorrow. Those siblings better wash their necks and wait. I close my eyes, my heart dead as ashes. Great. Tomorrow is going to be a tough battle. Not only do I have to save Tang Yu's little life, I also have to figure out a way to make that Xie girl tear up that damn debt repayment agreement. Ha ha ha. Bro, save me. Bring the apology letter. Wait for me downstairs at the dorm tomorrow morning. Bro, I was wrong. I changed my profile pic to a Shiba Inu. What's the point of changing your profile pic now? She already issued a campus-wide wanted notice. Then. Is Senior C really going to make me drop out? No. I'm here. Sigh. Holy shit. Tang Chen. You're dressed so sharp. Are you going on a blind date? I couldn't be bothered to answer him. I folded the agreement I had printed overnight and stuffed it into my folder. Lu Ming leaned over, craning his neck to take a peek. Holy shit. A debt repayment agreement. Who owes a debt? My sister does. Tang Yu? What kind of debt could she owe? Milk tea money? She owes Xie Qingyuan half a month's worth of idiot tax. Xie Qingyuan? That ruthless girl from the law department? The scammer Miss Shi was talking about a few days ago. Don't tell me that's you? Fuck. Run for your life, bro. That's a literal bloodbath. That woman can argue a person to death. You know that? I know. You know, and you're still going. I have to. If I don't, Tang. You will be packing her bags and going home tomorrow. Then you better be careful, man. When I got downstairs, I realized, Tang, you had bundled herself up completely. Wah. Stop crying. Wah. Crying is useless. Later, when Xie Qingyuan takes one look at you, these few tears won't even be enough to fill the gaps in her teeth. I just wanted to hook a cute girl to hang out with. You used my photo to hook a cute girl? Why didn't you use your own photo? When I used mine, nobody paid attention to me. I took a deep breath, reminding myself that she's my biological sister. I can't hit her. When we were still 500 meters away from the gym, I felt the atmosphere start to get weird. People on the road were in 2s and 3s. Everyone holding their phones, occasionally looking up toward the gym, whispering something under their breath. Holy crap, doesn't that guy's face look a little familiar? Which one? The guy in the jacket just now. They're all looking at you. Yeah, it's a campus-wide wanted notice. Remember? I'm basically a fugitive right now. When we reached the entrance of the gym, I raised my wrist and checked my watch. 9:58. Right on time. Streamer. Is he here? Is that Photoshop freak actually gonna show his face? Bro, maybe we should just go back. We've already come this far. If we go back, you'll die even faster. Holy shit, who is that? Wait. That face. I've seen that face on the confession wall. It's that Photoshop. Wait, that's not Photoshopped, is it? That's a real fucking person. Guys, look. The main character is here. I kept my eyes straight ahead, pulling Tang Yu right through the crowd. Right in the middle of the gym, sitting on the bleachers by the basketball court, was a girl. Her long legs were crossed, one hand propping up her chin, the other hand casually flipping through a few documents on the table in front of her. I locked eyes with her for a second. Her entire expression visibly froze for half a second. Then she very quickly returned to normal, lowering her head again to flip through the document, as if that momentary lapse in composure was just my imagination. See, brought the agreement? I did. Put it on the table. Himph, this face of yours. You got plastic surgery, didn't you? Holy shit. Miss C really refuses to admit defeat. She's just acting tough. That expression she just made, I recorded it. Bro, is she really going to make me drop out? Yeah, you're right. It's a genetic mutation. Born with it. Tang, this excuse of your brother's is exactly the same as yours from yesterday. Looks like your family has a lying gene. Alright, I could see it now. This Miss Shi was the type to be stubborn to the bitter end. She was clearly stunned just a moment ago, but now she's still acting tough. See, you told me to bring the agreement. The agreement is here, but before I sign it, I have a question. Speak. In this agreement of yours, clauses 3 through 7 are completely legally unenforceable. There is no actual debt between the subjects of the agreement to begin with. Forcing a subrogation clause is clearly unfair. Clause 10 requires me to replace my sister and provide a full year of unpaid labor. This kind of stipulation is inherently unreasonable as well. Are you sure you want me to sign this? Si Qingyuan's head snapped up, her eyes wide. Her lips parted slightly, as if she wanted to say something, but swallowed it back down. In that moment, I saw the tips of her ears rapidly and uncontrollably turn red. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Bro, marry me? I'm from the law department. I call dibs. Every single point this guy made holds up perfectly. Gee, how about we renegotiate? Si Qingyuan's face, at a visible speed, turned red all the way from her ears down to her neck. She completely froze on the bleachers, her fingers still resting on the third page of the agreement, as if someone had pressed the pause button on her. The gym was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Holy shit. This guy really understands the ins and outs of this stuff. Miss Shi is probably going to take an L today. Take an L? Looks to me like she's going to take a husband. Tang Chen, right? Which department are you from? Computer science. Sophomore. A sophomore in computer science? Yet you know these rules so well. Does your advisor know you're slacking off on your actual major? Miss Shi is getting defensive out of embarrassment. DA. Knowing this stuff isn't slacking off. It's called common sense. Common sense? Yeah, there's quite a bit of content in the relevant civil codes. If an adult spends 2 weekends reading through it, it's enough to handle all the agreements and contract disputes in daily life. Those 2 weekends of mine were originally meant for playing video games, but then I thought about it. Just in case my sister causes some trouble for me in the future. I needed something to protect myself. Bro, why didn't you tell me you read all this? If I told you, would you even understand it? Si Qingyuan was silent for 3 seconds. Then, she did something that none of the onlookers expected. Ah. Holy shit, she tore it. She actually tore it up. Am I seeing things? Is Si Qingyuan actually backing down? The agreement is void. That campus-wide wanted post from last night. I'll delete it right now. You're very straightforward. CA. Humph. Your sister used your photo to scam me for half a month. I can let that go. But I have one condition. You just said that clauses 3 through 7 of my agreement don't work. I admit that. You said the unpaid labor stipulation in clause 11 is unreasonable. I admit that too. But what about the remaining 9 clauses? Why don't you tell me? What's wrong with those 9 clauses? She's testing him on the spot. Bro, you didn't actually figure all of them out, did you? Clause 8, setting the penalty for breach of contract at 30% of the other party's annual income, is way too high of a standard. If this ever goes to the relevant authorities, such an excessively high compensation demand won't be supported. Clause 9, directly stipulating that disputes must be handled in your local jurisdiction, is not phrased rigorously enough. In special circumstances, this clause would be invalidated. Clause 10 is fine. It's a standard confidentiality agreement. Clause 12 forcibly requires siblings to bear joint and several liability for compensation, which is not legally valid. Relatives cannot bear debts for each other without cause. Clause 13 only states that a breach requires a public apology, but it doesn't specify the scope or method of the apology. If it actually needed to be enforced, it would be impossible to execute. Clauses 14 through 16, regarding the consequences of a breach, are written way too vaguely. They're full of loopholes. Clause 17, the signature line. C. Did you write this agreement yourself, or did you get a senior to write it for you? I announced that from today on. This is my husband. The entire law department is crying in the bathroom. Miss Shi, just surrender. If you hold out any longer, your face is going to bleed from how red it is. He's completely right. Every problem he pointed out is totally valid. Is he really not from the law department? Si Qingyuan was silent for a long time. So long that I thought she was going to slam the table and walk away. Then she suddenly smiled. That smile completely changed the aura of her entire face. Holy shit, Si Qingyuan can smile. I've been here for 3 years and this is my first time seeing it. Who exactly is this guy? He actually made the demoness smile. Si Qingyuan stood up, walked over, step by step, and stopped in front of me. Tang Chen. Yeah? That agreement. I wrote it myself. I know. How did you know? A professional wouldn't make so many rookie mistakes. Plus, the way Clause 2 was written about relative liability is a common example format found in textbooks. You. Stop showing off in front of me from now on, okay? You're just agreeing to it like that. Yeah. Si Qingyuan stared at me for 3 seconds, seemingly trying to confirm if I was being sarcastic. After confirming, she pulled her phone out of her pocket, opened the confession wall, and typed out a new post. Bro, look at this. Urgent. I think I offended my future husband. What should I do to make him stay? Waiting online, it's pretty urgent. Tang Chen. 3rd floor of the library. I'll draft a new agreement for you. Dinner is on me. Alright. Bro, don't tell me you've fallen for her. The video from that day was up on the confession wall for less than 2 hours and already broke 200,000 views. I hid in my dorm and turned off my phone for 3 days. I didn't even dare reply to my advisor rushing my thesis. Lu Ming would hug me every day and howl. Bro, please teach me your ways. I just want Si Qingyuan to buy me dinner once in my life. Get lost. Are you done with your thesis? Hang you, on the other hand, got a new lease on life because of this. That total blockhead now walks with a swagger. Ha 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 ha. That's my brother. He's really my biological brother. My brother and I are boy-girl twins, born from the same mom. She was practically a walking, talking QR code. Wednesday evening, 6:55 p.m. I showed up on time at the third floor of the library. I figured I'd been in the spotlight too much this week. If someone snapped another picture of me, I'd probably have to move out of the school overnight. Better to keep a low profile. Clear skies suddenly turned to a storm. Nowhere to hide, always leaving people disappointed. About the agreement from last time. See, how many clauses did you write this time? 7 clauses. I double-checked every single one. Pick them apart all you want. I took the agreement and scanned it from beginning to end. She really had improved a lot. At least there were no obvious loopholes anymore. Did you pull an all-nighter writing this? And, no. Those dark circles under your eyes say you stayed up late rushing this. Si Qingyuan quickly raised her hand and touched the corner of her eye. But then she seemed to suddenly realize something. Tang Chen, stop showing off your little observation skills in front of me. I just smiled and didn't say anything back. The students next to us kept glancing our way. Their eyes were filled with the sheer agony of not being able to study. Si Qingyuan was just about to speak again, when a series of footsteps echoed from the stairwell. The steps were heavy, as if announcing, "I'm here." I looked up. Walking toward us was a guy wearing a dark trench coat. He walked straight up to our table, without even glancing at me. "Qingyuan, I've been looking for you for 3 days. You didn't answer my calls, and you didn't reply to my WeChat messages." "Fang Ming, I already told you. We have nothing to talk about." "Haha, nothing to talk about? Uncle CA just had dinner with my dad last week, planning to arrange our marriage." Fang Ming's eyes shifted to my face, looking me up and down. "Oh, is this that sword demon face who's been trending online lately? I mean, Qingyuan, since when did your taste drop so low? Hanging out with an internet celebrity who only relies on his face for clout." I picked up the glass of water on the table and took a slow sip. The water was a bit cold. Xie Qingyuan suddenly stood up. Just as she was about to lash out, I raised my hand and gently pressed down on her wrist. "Excuse me, classmate. I recall reading in the news that last week, the CEO of the Psy Group, who is Xi's father, was attending an eminent summit abroad the entire time. Meanwhile, your Fang family's business is strictly domestic. So how exactly did your father manage to meet hers?" Fang Ming, publicly fabricating a false relationship and deliberately belittling others already constitutes malicious defamation. If Xi's father decides to pursue this, both your reputation and your father's will take a massive hit. The ensuing legal disputes will drag on for a long time. Whether you win or lose the case aside, the Fang family's reputation in the business circle will probably be cut in half first. Holy shit, young Master Fang. Which Fang family? The building materials one? The guys who do steel and cement? They were just in the headlines a while ago. Damn. Was what he just said really that exaggerated? Could it really wipe out half of their company's market value? Just the damage to their reputation alone would be enough to make their stock drop 3 points. Who the hell do you think you are? I'm nobody special. Just a sophomore who writes code. But what you just said, in a public place with unspecified third parties present, was a personal attack and defamation against Shay and me. Everyone's reputation is protected by law. Insulting people in public like that, we have every right to hold you legally responsible. I paused for a moment and turned my gaze to the girl nearby. "Excuse me, miss. Please don't delete the video you just recorded." I won't. I'll make 3 backups. I'm uploading it to the cloud right now." Fang Ming was already turning red with rage. He took a deep breath. "Fine, Tang Chen. You've got a pretty slick mouth. Then let me ask you, do you even know where the Xi family's city project is currently stuck? Do you? Uncle Xi flew back to the country last week, and after he got back, the very first thing he did was call my dad. You think just because you can draft a contract and know a few rules, you can sit at the same table with people from our circle and eat?" I looked at him without saying a word, but Xie Qingyuan looked up. "Fang Ming, my father called your father to discuss buying back the 15% equity held by the Fang family. The price has already been pushed down to 60% of the market value. The contract was sent to your house last Friday, whether your father signed it or not. You can go back and ask him yourself. How do you know that?" "I am the daughter of the Xi family. Did you think all I do every day is bicker with people like you? At school? Wow, she's not one to be trifled with either." The embarrassment of being publicly exposed just now was completely wiped away in an instant. Also the words Uncle Xi. Please delete them from your vocabulary from now on. My father is not close with yours. Guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that? The eldest miss of the Xi family said it herself. The Xie family is buying back the Fang family's shares, and the price is slashed to 60%. The Fang family is about to get swallowed whole. Young Master Fang's arrogance just now was all a bluff. The Xie family has a knife hanging right over their heads. This is what you call the mantis stalking the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Turns out he's the mantis. Tang Chen, you just wait. I've been waiting. What else do you want to say? Want to insult me again? That classmate's phone is still recording. It's on. It's on. 4K resolution. The lighting is great. He fiercely flicked his sleeves, turned around, and stormed off. Guys, did you get all of that on camera? That's Tang Chen, a sophomore from the computer science department. Tang Chen, remember the name. He's gonna be the next internet sensation. Stop filming. Ugh, stop it. That's my future husband. If you post that, what if pretty girls start harassing my man? Holy crap. This guy isn't just handsome. He knows the law and he knows business. He knows exactly how to wipe the floor with someone. And the craziest part is, he's a CS major. That's a cross-disciplinary beatdown. Bro, I've decided to retake my law elective starting today. Tang Chen, let's go talk somewhere else. Or are we talking just fine here? Ugh, it's too noisy here. Let's go. Where to? I'm treating you to a meal. We ended up at a Hunan restaurant called Nanfeng. Xie Qingyuan chose a corner seat by the window and pushed the menu in front of me. She only ordered a glass of lemonade for herself. You order. I casually picked 2 dishes and handed the menu back to the waiter. Tang Chen, back in the library just now, all those rules about defamation disputes. How do you know them so thoroughly? During those 2 weekends, besides reading through civil law regulations, I also conveniently read up a lot on reputation and personal rights. It adds up to quite a bit. Xie Qingyuan stayed silent for 3 seconds. When she looked up, her eyes held an emotion I couldn't quite name. Tang Chen, you shouldn't be in the computer science department. Then where should I be? She didn't answer the question. Do you have some kind of plan for studying law? A plan? I'll tell you if there's a chance in the future. HMPH. Here are your dishes. Pickled cabbage fish and farmhouse stir-fried pork. What's so great about keeping secrets? Halfway through the meal, I put down my chopsticks. Classmate Shi. I didn't look closely at this agreement back in the library. Now that I have time, I'm reading it over again. The first few clauses about apologies and compensation for emotional distress are written very professionally. I can't find any major flaws. Yeah, but there's one clause. The older brother taking responsibility for the younger sister's debts. A brother taking the fall for his sister. Sounds pretty loyal. But putting it in this agreement is actually quite unreasonable. If I take the fall for Tang Yu, she'll get used to me covering for her. The trouble she causes, if she doesn't face it herself, she'll never grow up. That's not helping her, that's spoiling her. Think whatever you want. What are you looking at? This matter ends here. Why the sudden change of mind? None of your business. Ever since the first time I saw him, I realized that such a perfect face actually exists in real life. Actually, at that time, I wasn't even angry anymore. I only wrote up this stupid agreement, so I'd have an excuse to ask him out next time. But now, I can't bring myself to make him sign this stupid thing. The indoor lighting fell diagonally across the table, shining on the torn pieces of the agreement. I stared at it for 3 seconds, and a new, rather different idea formed in my mind. Tang Chen, wake the hell up. Something huge happened. Look at this. Look, I squinted for 3 seconds before I could clearly see the pinned post. Title, Exposing the Sword Demon Face. Tang Chen's academic fraud, bribing tutors, and sister's underage dating history revealed. The post was written quite professionally. It had images, a timeline, and chat screenshots. Everything was there. It claimed that my provincial math modeling competition award from freshman year was bought with money. It said the only reason I got into this university was because my mom pulled strings and bribed them. It claimed Tang Yu had 4 boyfriends during her 3 years of high school, and even attached a few on-scene photos. The last paragraph was the most vicious. This kind of manufactured academic fraud and his underage dating playgirl sister are actually still swaggering around campus scamming people. We suggest the school investigate and handle this immediately. The post was published at 2:07 a.m. By 4 a.m., it already had over 1,000 shares. Bro, that picture. Is the one of Tang Yu real? It's fake. How are you so sure? In that photo, Tang Yu is wearing our high school uniform. The stripe on the collar is from the new design the school switched to last year. When she was in high school, that stripe was still on the cuffs. Damn. Bro, you even remember the uniform details. From elementary to high school, I washed every single one of her uniforms. Wow. The way you act as a brother makes me want to be reborn just to have you as my sibling. I couldn't be bothered to entertain him. I walked over to my computer and sat down. 4:05 a.m. Exactly 2 hours since the post was published. This actually wasn't hard to handle. The account that posted it was just a newly registered burner, created less than 12 hours ago. Although the IP was masked very professionally, routed through 3 layers of proxies, an average person would basically give up seeing this kind of disguise. But any data stream that leaves the campus network ultimately has to return to a real physical address at some layer. I opened the tracking script. I had been writing for 3 years and threw the posting account's UID and login IP range right into it. The script ran for about 40 seconds, and a string of data popped up on the screen. The last line was a real IP address. Location: a 24-hour internet cafe in the east side of the city. I stared at that line of text for 3 seconds, then typed a few more lines of code, pulling up all the active accounts under this IP from the last 72 hours. I scanned through them. 7 accounts. 6 of them were bot accounts posting the same type of smear article. Even the wording templates were exactly the same. The 7th account's registered phone number ended in 6,371. I opened WeChat and pulled up the contact info. Xie Qingyuan had tossed me yesterday. She had added a note, "Just block this kind of person." I laughed out of anger. Wow. Yon Master Fang, you even dared to use your real phone number to register a burner account. If you were my apprentice, I'd kick you out on the spot. Go back home and inherit your steel and cement business. I wasn't in a rush to make a move. I opened the posting history of those 6 bot accounts, cross-referenced the timestamps, and cached the forwarding links of each article, along with parts of the payment transaction records. I sorted through all of it. That internet cafe, In the east side had an absurdly outdated membership system. The login records were saved directly on their local drive. In the past week, he had gone there a total of 4 times. Every time was at 2 a.m. I packaged and encrypted all the data and made 3 backups. After finishing all this, I checked the time. 4:47 a.m. I opened WeChat and sent Xie Qingyuan a message. You there? Yeah. Why are you still awake at this hour? Just finished reading that post? Tang Chen. I've already got people handling that post. Looking at those 2 sentences, that indescribable irritation in my heart suddenly dissipated. You don't need to handle it. I'll do it myself. How are you going to do that? I smiled and dragged the neatly packaged data zip file straight into the chat box and sent it over. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at the principal's office. Are you coming or not? I'm coming. What should I wear? Wow, classmate Shi. We haven't even gotten down to business yet, and you're already worrying about what to wear. Wear what you wore yesterday when you tore up the agreement. Today, we're going to the principal's office to tear Fang Ming in half. Okay, then, what are you wearing? I closed my laptop, turned around, and saw Lu Ming still staring at me wide-eyed. Bro, in those 10 minutes just now, yeah? Can you install that script for me too? What'd you need it for? I want to know who in the next dorm is stealing my instant noodles at midnight. I lay back in bed, wanting to snooze a bit longer, but my mind kept replaying that voice. What should I wear? 3rd floor of the library. I'll draft a new agreement for you. What are you looking at? This matter ends here. 9:50 a.m. I stood at the end of the corridor on the 3rd floor of the administration building. When Xie Qingyuan walked over from the other end of the hall, I looked up. She actually wore that exact same outfit. Why are you dressed like that? It's comfortable. The stuff is in here. Xie Qingyuan stared at the crumpled paper bag for 3 seconds, seemingly wanting to say something, but ultimately kept her mouth shut. She raised her hand and knocked on the dark brown door in front of us. Come in. The principal's surname was Chen, in his 50s. Wearing gold-rimmed glasses, he was currently reviewing a stack of documents. 2 people were already sitting on the other side of the desk, Fang Ming and his father, Fang Hongyi. Haha, Qingyuan, my niece, Uncle Fang. The smile on Fang Hongyi's face froze for half a second. And this must be classmate Tang, right? Yes. Young man, the reason we asked you here today is to talk about that post online last night. Little Tang, Chairman Fang has already proactively explained the situation to the school. They've looked into that post. It was an intern at the Fang family's company who wanted to suck up to Fang Ming and posted it on their own. The matter has been handled. Chairman Fang is also willing to take the corresponding responsibility, issue a public statement to clarify things, and compensate you for the damage to your reputation. I glanced at Fang Ming. The young master was crossing his arms, wearing an arrogant smirk on his face. All right, everything's all arranged. The Fang family sure is well practiced at this routine. Principal Chen. Yes? May I borrow your computer for 3 minutes? Principal Chen was taken aback and instinctively pushed his laptop toward me. Fang Hongyi narrowed his eyes. I didn't look at him. I opened the USB drive I brought, plugged it in, and typed a few lines of commands. A clean window popped up on the screen. Principal Chen, Chairman Fang. The post published last night at 2:07 a.m. The UID of the posting account is this string here. The registration time for this account was 1:48 a.m. The registered phone number was encrypted, but the original number ends in 6,371. The second line of data. Within the last 72 hours, this account logged in from PC, Hasun 7 on the 2nd floor of Xingwang Internet Cafe in the east side. A total of 4 times. Fang Ming's face turned deathly pale. The 4 login times perfectly correspond with the times those 6 bot accounts posted the smear articles on the confession wall and 3 other public platforms. Chairman Fang, you just said it was an intern at your company who posted it on their own? Little Tang, when it comes to technical things, we can't just take your one-sided word for it. Chairman Fang is right. That's why I sent the exact same complete set of data to the school's network center. The receipt confirmation to the school's network center. The receipt confirmation I received just 10 minutes ago. Little Tang, where did you get this data? I ran it through a script. I wrote myself. You said you're a CS sophomore. Yes. Chairman Fang, Principal Chen. Chairman Fang, Tang Chen, doesn't plan to pursue criminal charges for this today. However, the parts of that post that involved spreading rumors about me, specifically the part claiming Tang Chen relied on connections to get ahead, the subtext of that sentence is that my Shi family is backing him behind the scenes. What do you think my father will think when he hears this? What will those outsiders who have been eyeing the Shi family's equity think when they hear it? What will those outsiders who have been eyeing the Xie families? This is the supplementary agreement regarding the buyback of the Fang family shares that my father had his lawyers prepare last week. The original price was 60% of the market value. As of today, it's adjusted to 30%. Qingyuan, this is Uncle Fang. You can go back and discuss this with my father. Principal Chen, sorry for the intrusion today. Let's go. Tang Chen? Yeah? It really is you. I'm Lin Qi. 10 years ago, my dad used to take me to your house to play all the time. I have some impression of that. That's great. I just transferred here, freshman in the finance department. I didn't expect to run into you by such a coincidence. Can I add your WeChat? It's been so long. I really want to catch up with you. Sure. Then I won't bother you guys anymore. Tang Chen. Let's grab a meal together some other day, just to catch up. Oh, Lin Qi, daughter of Lin Zhangting, chairman of the Lin Group. What's wrong? Is there a problem? This Lin Qi, the way she approached you seemed a bit too deliberate. You think she has an ulterior motive? The way she looked at you, it seemed like she wanted to pursue you, but there was also something off about it. Stay away from her. At least until I investigate and clear things up. Tang Chen. Yeah? Are you selling that script of yours? No. Why not? I wrote that script during my freshman year. I've revised it 137 times since then. If I sell it to you, what would you even do with it? Anti-fraud? Anti-botting? Commercial due diligence. There's a huge market demand for it. The market demand is indeed huge, which is exactly why I can't sell it. Classmate Xie. On its own, that script is worth 200,000 at most. But if we build it into a complete product suite, register it under a company, flesh out the front and back end, and connect it to commercial credit databases, it could be worth 8 figures. You want to do it yourself. I want to find someone to do it with me. Who? I didn't say anything, just quietly looked at her, giving her my answer. The midsummer sunlight filtered through the layers of ginkgo leaves, scattering like shattered crystals across the tree-lined path. The dense branches and leaves gently drooped down, perfectly concealing the undeniable shyness and fluttering heartbeats in their eyes. Tang Chen, your whole strategy, from 2 a.m. last night to 10 a.m. today, took less than 8 hours in total. Finding the IP, getting the evidence, making an appointment with the principal, coordinating with me, backing up the data to the network center, and having me pull up the buyback agreement. Every step was perfectly timed. You had this all planned out from the start, didn't you? Yes. Why did you come looking for me? Because the day you tore up that agreement, I saw the cover of the cooperation agreement on your desk. Hangzhou Sai Corporation Legal Department Internship Manual. This summer, you interned in your father's company's legal department, doing compliance reviews. After you came back to school, you single-handedly took on compliance work for 2 small companies near the campus and your consulting official account. The latest post was published on September 4th. The title was 10 Common Compliance Minefields for Small and Micro Businesses Around Campus. It had 2,300 views. There was a top comment in the comments section. When is Senior Sai starting her own company? I'll be the first to throw my money at it. How did you know my account's view count? I searched it on Baidu. See, I want to start a company. Anti-fraud and anti-internet water armies. I'll provide the commercial anti-phishing tech. I'll cover the initial investment. The legal framework, compliance reviews, and external contracts will be on you. We split the profits 50/50. Alright, I'll think about it. Over the next week, my coincidental encounters with Lin Qi seemed to become a lot more frequent. I remember you said you like Americanos. Downstairs at the teaching building, the two of us would always bump into each other accidentally. I happen to be heading that way too. Let's walk together, Senior. Junior Lin is so good to you. She even asked me what you like to eat today. Brother Tang, what kind of god-tier luck do you have? You haven't even won over the eldest Miss Shea yet, and now you've got a wealthy girl next door chasing after you? Ha 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 ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha ha. But to be honest, Lin Qi's way of approaching people really makes it hard to dislike her. She isn't overly enthusiastic, nor is she cold and distant. She always maintains just the right amount of distance. It makes you feel like she's interested in you, without making you feel too pressured. But I still felt like something was off. Tang Chen, what are you looking up? My hands paused for a moment. On the screen was a paper about corporate auditing processes. Just something for a paper. What a coincidence. My father's company gets audited all the time. I actually know quite a bit about this stuff. Do you want me to help you? No need, I can handle it myself. By the way, Tang Chen, do you remember when I went to your house back then? Your father was incredibly busy at the time. He was always working late in his study. I have some memory of it. I remember he worked as an auditor, right? He was an auditor. I've always wanted to find a chance to tell you. Before your parents' accident, my father's company happened to be undergoing an audit. I heard the project was extremely complicated. Your father pulled a lot of all-nighters for it. And on the day of the accident, I heard your father had worked late into the night again. I've always been worried. Do you think it was because of my father's company's project that your father was too exhausted and his mental state was poor, which led to, if you really think that way, then the Lin Group indirectly caused your father's car accident back then. She was testing the waters, testing to see if I knew what really happened back then, testing my attitude toward the Lin family, even testing to see if I had any evidence in my hands. Lin Qi, I don't blame your family. Really? Really? It's been so long. Let the past stay in the past. That's a relief. I was always worried you would. Tang Chen, thank you for thinking that way. So, we're friends now, right? Yeah, friends. After she left, I opened my phone and sent a message to Shay King Yuan. She's definitely acting suspicious. How did you answer her? I told her I don't blame them, and to let the past stay in the past. You're actually pretty convincing when you lie. Learned it from you. Bro, what's wrong? Bro, I was at the storage cabinet in our old house. I just went to get that photo album Mom left behind, and I found a USB drive. What USB drive? It has Mom's handwriting on it. It says, for A Chen and Yu. Open this when you're older. Bro, I just tried plugging it into the computer to take a look, and a password prompt popped up. There was also a line of text. Self-destructs after 3 incorrect attempts. You don't touch it. I'll be right back. As I was leaving the campus gates, I happened to run into Si Qingyuan. She saw that I was in a hurry, so she decided to drive me there. Get in. I'll give you a ride. In the driver's seat sat a middle-aged man in a black suit. Miss. Uncle Lin, drive to the old residential area in the south of the city. I'll send you the navigation. You have a personal driver? Yeah. So when you come to school for classes, he tags along too. He sits in the coffee shop outside the campus gates from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Tang Chen, your parents' car accident. It was 7 years ago. Tang Yu and I were in middle school that year. The sycamore trees outside the window blurred past one by one. Xia Qingwan didn't press further. She just rested her elbow against the window, looking out at the retreating street view. 20 minutes later, the car pulled up in front of the old residential buildings in the south of the city. Bro, it's inside. Sister-in-law. Call me sister. Oh, hello sister. Yeah. The old house had a faint smell of camphor. That was Mom's favorite scent. On the coffee table in the living room sat a dark brown wooden box. The lid was open. Inside was just that single, solitary USB drive. 4. HN and UU. Open this when you're older. Bro, here's the laptop. I plugged the USB drive in. A password prompt popped up on the screen. White text on a blue background. It read, please enter password. 3 attempts remaining. Self-destructs after 3 incorrect attempts. What year is this encryption format from? Looking at the driver protocol, around 2014. Mom was the CFO of her company back then. It's probably a custom drive issued by the company. Is the self-destruct clause real? It's hardware triggered. It has nothing to do with the OS. Then we really only have 3 tries. Bro, should we find a professional? It wouldn't help. This kind of drive only has one logic path. 3 wrong passwords, and a small circuit on the motherboard burns out. A self-destruct chip. Any attempt to dismantle it, read it directly, or bypass it, will trigger the exact same mechanism. Then how are we supposed to guess it? I stared at the password prompt, my hands freezing. Si Qingyuan stood behind me, just waiting quietly. Back then, whenever Mom locked her cabinets, her first password was always her birthday, 0317. Right. It's her birthday. Incorrect password. Tang Yu's face instantly went pale. That's impossible, bro. Mom used that for so many of her passwords. She specifically wrote, open this when you're older. Whatever is hidden in this drive. She wouldn't use her everyday password for it. She wanted you two to figure it out. Yeah. So this password might be something she wanted you to remember. Mom loved gardenias. They bloomed on the balcony every May. Her favorite song to sing was Those Flowers. Every year on her birthday, she only made one wish. For our family of 4, to be safe and sound. I opened my eyes and typed in a string of numbers. 0512, the day the gardenias first bloomed. Bro, don't try anymore. Let's just keep it as it is. Xia Qingyuan crouched down, helped Tang Yu up, and guided her to sit on the sofa. Then she walked back behind me. She didn't say a word, just gently placed her hand on my tense shoulder. Her hand was light and cool, but in that moment, the string in my mind that was about to snap somehow steadied itself. Tang Chen. Yeah, something she wanted you to remember. Maybe it was a specific day. The day she felt the happiest. I remember now. It was the day Tang Yu and I were born. On the hospital medical record card, Mom wrote a small line in the corner with a red pen. Today is the happiest day of my life. That medical card is still tucked at the very bottom of the drawer in Mom's bedroom. The day she gave birth to Tang Yu and me. The 19th of September 2002. I took a deep breath, rested my fingers on the keyboard, typed 0919, and hit enter. The screen went black for a second, then a folder popped up. Inside was a single video file. The file name was just 4 words. HN UU. HN UU. If you are watching this video, it means Mom is no longer around. Mom knows, you've always thought your father's car accident was just an accident. But it wasn't. It was the Lin family. It was Lin Zhengting. Your father was in charge of auditing the Lin Group's accounts back then. He uncovered a 370 million funding gap. That money was transferred out of Lin Real Estate's pre-sale escrow account, passed through 7 shell companies, and finally landed in Lin Zhengting's privately controlled offshore fund. Your father compiled the evidence and was preparing to submit it to the regulatory authorities. The night before he was supposed to submit it, that car accident happened. HN, Mom knows you're smart. You've always seen further than other kids since you were little. But Mom is begging you. Don't be impulsive. Lin Zhengting has been operating in this city for 20 years. He has connections in both politics and business. All the evidence your father had back then completely vanished after the accident. Mom has been secretly gathering it again over the past few years. In this USB drive, besides this video, there is a folder. Inside is everything Mom managed to get her hands on. But Mom knows this still isn't enough. It's missing the most crucial link, the actual controller information for those 7 shell companies, and the original transfer vouchers. Mom couldn't find them. So Mom is leaving this task to you. HN, if one day you feel you are strong enough, help Dad and Mom finish this. But if you feel it's too difficult or too dangerous, then destroy this USB drive. Mom won't blame you. Mom only hopes that you and Tang Yu stay safe and sound. Xia Qingwan's hand was still resting on my shoulder. She hadn't taken it off. I could feel her fingertips pressing down slightly, as if checking to see if I was still holding it together. I was holding it together. I clicked open the second folder in the USB drive. Inside were 47 files. Scanned documents, bank statements, screenshots, email correspondence records, corporate registration change info, and a few audio recordings. I spent about 5 minutes looking through the directory structure of all the files, then closed the laptop. Bro, who is this? Lin Zhengting. The Lin Group, the biggest real estate developer in the city. They have 4 listed subsidiaries under them. Last year's revenue broke 20 billion. The chairman, Lin Zhengting, is a standing committee member of the municipal CPPCC. They've been in the top 3 taxpayers in the city for 8 consecutive years. Then what do? We go back to school. Bro, we go back to school. This isn't something we can solve today. Tang Chen. Yeah? Lin Zhengting. To think it was actually him. My father is in the real estate circle, and he's crossed paths with the Lin Group on projects twice. The last time they interacted was 3 years ago, during a joint bid for an old city renovation project. In the end, the project was awarded to the Lin Group. My father didn't say anything at the time, but after he came home, he took Lin Zhengting's business card from his desk and threw it into the shredder. What are you trying to say? I'm trying to say that this Lin Zhengting isn't someone an ordinary person can touch. I know. What are you planning to do? I didn't answer immediately. I looked down at my hand, clutching the USB drive. The 47 files Mom left behind. I just skimmed through them. Most of them are circumstantial evidence, bank statements, corporate change records, email screenshots. If we bring these out into the open, they can only prove that the flow of funds was abnormal. There's no way to point them directly at Lin Zhengting himself. She said it's missing the most crucial link: the actual controller information for the 7 shell companies and the original transfer vouchers. These 2 things, 7 years have passed. They've either been destroyed or they're hidden somewhere I can't reach yet. The actual controller information for shell companies, if you go through official channels to check corporate archives, you won't find anything. For this level of offshore structuring, the domestic corporate systems only register nominees. The information of the people truly controlling the companies is all hidden in the archives of overseas registries. Then how do you plan to find it? You asked me earlier if I was selling that script. Yeah, the core capability of my script is data tracking. Scraping the IP posting records of internet water armies is just its most superficial use. The true core module, I've never shown it to anyone. It can penetrate multiple layers of network camouflage and rely on data packet characteristics and transmission trajectories to pinpoint the actual device behind it all. You mean, those 7 shell companies of the Lin Group, even if they're registered overseas, their daily operations inevitably involve financial transactions with the mainland, information transmission, as long as there is even a single data link between them and the Lin Group, even if it's just one email, one transfer directive, or one encrypted message, I can follow that thread and drag the actual controller hiding behind layers of shells out into the light. Xie Qingyuan looked at me, silent for a long time. The living room was very quiet. Tang, you had already stopped crying. Finally, Xie Qingyuan spoke. Tang Chen. Yeah? That company you mentioned earlier. Anti-fraud, anti-water army, commercial anti-phishing. I'm investing. The conditions? The condition is, when the day comes that you're ready to make your move against Lin Zhengting, all legal matters will be handled entirely by me. Deal. On the way back to school, Tang, you cried for a long time and fell asleep leaning against the back seat. Xie Qingyuan sat beside me, a leather-bound notebook open on her lap. I turned my head and glanced at it. At the very top of the page, 5 words were boldly written. Chiming Technology. What does it mean? The company's name. It's taken from the Book of Odes, Minor Odes. In the east is chiming, in the west is changing. The chiming star is the morning star, the first star to shine, right before the long night ends and dawn breaks. The romance of a scholar. Even a STEM guy like me can appreciate that. You don't like it? I like it. Then what's with that expression? I just remembered. My mother's favorite song when she was alive. There's a lyric in it. Say goodbye before dawn. The tip of Xie Qingyuan's pen suddenly stopped. She was silent for a moment, then lowered her head and added a small line of text below chiming technology. The faint light of dawn is never late and never absent. At 4 p.m., the car pulled up smoothly at the school gates. I first took the sleepy-eyed Tang Yu to the bottom of the girls' dorm building. After waking up, she still clung to me, refusing to let go. In the end, the dorm auntie had to step in to coax her back into the dorm building. Xie Qingyuan and I walked side by side on the campus path. Suddenly, a commotion broke out ahead. A crowd of students was gathered at the intersection. Standing in the center of the crowd was a girl. It was Lin Qi. I said it's a little over 200 in total. I won't give a single cent more. Miss, when you placed the order, we clearly agreed the total was 1,000. These trashy flowers are worth 1,000. I don't want them anymore. Giving you 200 is more than enough. If you dare say another word, I'll have my father make a call and your entire delivery station won't get a single order this month. I stopped in my tracks. This arrogant, domineering Lin Qi was completely different from the gentle, polite girl who had approached me earlier. It was like night and day. It seems this is her true face. I walked straight into the crowd. Tang Chen? Lin. The order number is right there. A quick check on the platform's backend will clear things up. The actual cost is determined by the system. That was a system error. Lin, once an online transaction is submitted, the agreement takes effect. You can't just unilaterally change it on a whim. Tang Chen, are you trying to stick your nose into my business? I'm not sticking my nose into your business. You just threatened to. Use your connections to suppress the entire delivery station. This kind of behavior, threatening someone's normal business operations, has already crossed the legal red line. If they really pursue this, it won't do your father or the entire Lin family any good. Chiming Technology officially opens for business next week. If this matter isn't resolved within 24 hours, with a written apology to you, and full payment settled, call this number. We'll handle it for you, free of charge. Tang Chen. Don't get too cocky. Once my father finds out about this, you'll realize exactly who calls the shots at this school. Do me a favor and pass a message to Lin Zhengting for me. Tell him I've been waiting for 7 years. Lin Qi subconsciously took a half step back, awkwardly squeezed her way out of the crowd, and hurried away. You're deliberately alerting the snake in the grass. Yeah. Lin Zhengting will definitely realize that the clues left behind from that incident are still out there. As long as he makes a move, I can follow the flaws he exposes and drag those 7 shell companies out one by one. Chiming Technologies registration will be completed tomorrow. We start our operation immediately. That night, before lights out in the dorm, I methodically completed 3 tasks. First, I copied all 47 files from the USB drive Mom left behind onto an old laptop that was completely disconnected from the internet. I put the original USB drive into an anti-magnetic storage bag and quietly slipped it under my mattress. Bro, what good stuff are you hiding? Something that'll guarantee you graduate smoothly. I didn't see anything. Good boy. Second, I unlinked all my commonly used social media accounts, emails, and messaging apps from the campus network. I set up a complete set of automated scripts to simulate my daily behavior, liking and interacting on social platforms on schedule. Even my habit of browsing video sites in the early hours of the morning was perfectly simulated to cover up my real tracks. Third, on my main work computer, I deliberately created a seemingly encrypted, a highly secured folder named Lin Group 2017 Original Audit Archives. Inside the folder were 47 PDF documents. Every single document contained only one sentence. Welcome. At 2:47 a.m., on the corner of the desk, the backup computer running background surveillance year-round suddenly popped up an alert. Target folder access attempt triggered. Access source IP. Overseas multi-layer proxy routing. I sat up straight, put on my headphones, and locked my eyes on the screen. The intruder's IP kept bouncing across multiple regions worldwide, cloaked in layers of disguise. Ordinary tracking methods would completely lose the trail by the second layer. I didn't intercept the target. I let them break through the surface disguise and enter the folder, watching them download those 47 identical documents. With every download request, it would quietly implant a silent beacon code I had written. This code wouldn't steal data, wouldn't damage the device, and wouldn't be detected by antivirus software. Its only purpose was to send back to my server the current device's time string every 60 seconds. A single timestamp was worthless, but if 7 different devices continuously sent back the exact same time, I could be certain they shared the same core time server. And this server was the central fund dispatch hub for the 7 shell companies in the country. Once the 47 documents were downloaded, the intruder cleanly disconnected, retreating without a trace. I waited quietly. 1 minute. 2 minutes. At 3 minutes, 7 independent signals were transmitted back right on time, corresponding to 7 different terminal devices. I took the signal coordinates and marked them one by one on the digital map. The final coordinate landed in the Jiangbei district of this city, on the 37th floor of the Lin Group headquarters building. I took a deep breath, packed all the IP addresses and transmission fingerprints, and encrypted them, naming the zip file Chiming 001 Original Evidence Chain. I opened WeChat and left a message for Si Qingyuan. How many fish took the bait? 7 of them. Tang Chen. My father was up all night too. Did Lin Zhengting contact him? Yeah. Lin Zhengting called personally to probe my father, asking why the Shi family was letting us get so close. How did Uncle Si reply? Just a few words. My daughter's business is none of my concern. Before hanging up, my father added one more thing. But if anything happens to him, I'll make it my concern. Thank Uncle Si for me. Thank him yourself. Next Wednesday night, my father is hosting a dinner and invites you to attend. Why next Wednesday? Next Tuesday, my father's legal team will deliver the final equity repurchase agreement to Lin Zhengting. According to the agreement, the Lin Group shares held by the Fang family will be bought out at 50% of the market price. This agreement, he has to sign it if he wants to, and he has to sign it even if he doesn't. Once he signs it, Lin Group's cash flow will instantly be cut in half. I'll leave the rest of the mess to you. The dorm room was completely silent, save for Lu Ming's rhythmic snoring. Pale moonlight spilled into the room through the gap in the curtains, falling on the old family photo at the corner of the desk. My mother's eyes were gentle, her smile serene, looking exactly like the final frozen frame of that video. Mom, Dad, it's almost time. Wednesday night, I changed into the custom black suit Xie Qingyuan had sent to my dorm in advance. Lu Ming touched the fabric, his eyes full of envy. Holy shit, you look too damn good, bro. This outfit must cost a fortune. Inside a private club by the West Lake in Hangzhou, I walked into the private room. Xie Changshen looked up and said, have a seat, Xiao Tang. I heard from Qingyuan that you two are planning to start a company together. Yes, Uncle Sai. We'll focus on anti-fraud, anti-astroturfing, and commercial due diligence. I see. How much startup capital do you need? I will cover the startup capital entirely on my own. How will you distribute the equity? A 50-50 split. Humph. Xiao Tang, a 50-50 partnership model, makes it very hard to scale a company. When opinions clash, who makes the final call? Uncle Shi. A 50-50 split only limits a company if both parties are solely chasing scale and profit. My goal is to do the right things properly, and Qing Yuan's goal is to protect the people around her. Our goals complement each other. This company doesn't need an absolute dictator. Halfway through the banquet, Xi Chongshan's assistant hurried into the room and leaned in to whisper a report. After listening, Xie Chongshan handed his phone to me. Lin Group Chairman Lin Zhangting has been taken away by the police for investigation on multiple charges, including corporate embezzlement, misappropriation of funds, and bribery. Published at 7:26 p.m. Below the news were 3 photos. Lin Zhangting being escorted out of the Lin Group building by investigators, an official bulletin from the Economic Crime Investigation Department, and a complete fund flowchart of the 7 shell companies. This chart was the exact core evidence chain I had compiled earlier. I handed the phone back, my expression calm. Xie Chongshan picked up his bowl and chopsticks again, his tone indifferent. Xiao Tang, 7 years of endurance. You've worked hard. The heavy knot in my heart for 7 years quietly dissolved in that moment. Yeah. The next morning, official data was released. The total frozen assets of the Lin Group amounted to 4.7 billion yuan. Lin Zhangting's daughter, Lin Qi, dropped out of school and fled the country overnight. All 4 of Lin Group's listed subsidiaries suspended trading. The equity repurchase agreement drafted by the Xi family's legal team was officially executed at the very last moment before the stock market suspension. Deal closed. At 3 p.m., the city's Economic Crime Investigation Detachment released a bombshell announcement. The traffic accident ruled as an accident 7 years ago has officially been reopened for investigation. 3 key suspects have currently been identified. When the news reached the campus, the whole school was in an uproar. Holy shit. Lu Ming rushed into the dorm clutching his phone, completely hyped up. At dusk, I returned to the old house in the south of the city, took out that old laptop, and clicked on the video my mother left behind once again. In the frame, my mother's gentle smile was as clear as ever. Brother, sister C is downstairs. Tang Chen. Yeah? Chiming technology officially opens tomorrow. My father said something to me today. What did he say? He said, that young man, don't let him get away. The draft of this cooperation agreement has already been revised by me, Tang Chen. The stars are so beautiful tonight. 3 years later, chiming technology had grown into the industry benchmark for anti-fraud and commercial due diligence in the country. The company had branches in 7 cities nationwide. That script, originally just meant to track internet trolls, had now evolved into a comprehensive, mature commercial security defense system. It helped hundreds of companies avoid major risks and also assisted the police in cracking over a dozen transnational fraud cases. On the day of the company's annual gala, I stood on stage giving a speech. The audience was packed with employees. In the very front row, Xi Qingyuan was looking down, flipping through a document in her hands, occasionally glancing up at me, with a faint, almost imperceptible smile on her lips. After the speech ended, she walked up to the stage and handed me a document. She said in a strictly professional tone, President Tang, this is the draft of next year's strategic plan. The legal department has already reviewed it. I took the folder and flipped to the first page. The title boldly read, Detailed Proposal Regarding the Wedding Preparation for Mr. Tang Chen and Miss Xi Qingyuan. The crowd instantly erupted into cheers and whistles. I looked up at her. The tips of her ears were completely red, but she still tried to play it cool. President Tang, this proposal requires your signature for confirmation. Execution date, the 18th of next month. Why the 18th? Because that day is your parents' wedding anniversary. I held her hand, and, in front of everyone, solemnly signed my name on the document. Later, we went to the old house in the south of the city. Xi Qingyuan and I stood side by side, in front of my parents' portraits, and offered them a toast. On the day of the wedding, someone asked Tang Yu about her relationship status. Me? My brother and sister-in-law met back in college. Now they run a business and live their lives together. I want to find someone like that too. Actually, I'm working at a design firm right now. Last month, a new project manager joined the company. He's pretty reliable and works hard. Haha, look at that expression on your face. You guys are definitely already dating, aren't you? He said he wants to wait until he passes his probation period, and his job is stable before officially pursuing me. I've learned my lesson this time. I won't be as reckless as I used to be. Plus, I wouldn't dare date just anyone. What if my brother doesn't approve? Heh. As long as he has good character and treats you well, I won't object. Xie Qingyuan gently linked her arm through mine. Looking at the lively and heartwarming scene before us, an indescribable sense of fulfillment welled up in my heart. Late that night 7 years ago, she had furiously posted a bounty on the confession wall, screaming about hunting down the Photoshop freak and threatening to destroy me. Who would have thought that the gaming avatar face she fell in love with at first sight would eventually belong to the man who would spend the rest of his life with her? Thinking of this, Xi Qingyuan held onto me even tighter. She looked up at me, her eyes brimming with unconcealable tenderness and love. Feeling her lean against me, I turned and looked tenderly at my wife, then at my sister, who was looking forward to her own romance. The corners of my mouth curled up unconsciously. All those times I gritted my teeth and pushed through the long, dark nights. All those hidden, grueling moments. Now, they had all transformed into this hard-won perfection before my eyes. I knew that no matter how long the night, dawn would eventually break. And now, our family had finally waited for our own moment of daylight. The story of chiming technology was still continuing, but the happiness of the Tang and Shi families had only just begun.